everyone, Katrina Potter. I am here today to share with you the foundation as it comes to our physical health. So we're going to be going over some key foundation as far as supporting our physical body. And then next week, we're kicking off on our rotating topics. So for this week, we're talking just the foundation. I'm going to share with you some thoughts. On Monday, I talked more about the emotional component, and today I'm going to talk more about the physical component. So one of the things, and I'm just today going to share some of the things that I realized in my own emotional wellness journey, and then we'll go from there. So one of the things that I was speaking to on Monday was the concept of ease and dis-ease. And when we talked about dis-ease, I was mentioning like low quality supplementation, processed foods, and what else? Low quality essential oils, chemicals in our environment. And so I wanted to just talk about this. We're talking about the foundation of our health, and then any of the teachings and the topics are going to be layered on top of that. But today I'm talking about our supplementation, our foods, and that foundation. So one of the things when I first was introduced into my wellness world was identifying all of the areas that toxins were coming into my body. And it really was this massive awakening for me. I had no idea how toxic all of the little plugins that I had in my outlets were to my body. And I had significant hormonal issues. I had my thyroid removed at the age of 21. I was struggling with a lot of PCOS, possibly endometriosis, just a lot of things, IBS, and my body was just completely out of whack. Well, I learned about plugins and the dangers that come with having these chemical fragrances in our outlets and creating a fishbowl of toxicity that binds to the good hormones in our body and creates a whole hormonal out of balance thing happening. So I wanted to share today, just as we're going through these topics, this is the foundation, really looking at where are you seeing toxins creep into your life and start making some of those shifts. So rather than having the plugins, I started making shifts into using diffusers rather than candles, shifting into diffusers, rather than air sprays, shifting into making a natural essential oil spray that cleanses the air without having that chemical fragrance. So making those little shifts. The other thing that I started understanding at a deeper level was the importance of having the foundation of nutrition in our body. And unfortunately, the soil is depleted from a lot of the key nutrients that we saw 100 years ago. And so our ancestors, from eating one apple, had way more nutrition from that apple than we would gain from an apple today. And so that deepened my understanding of the importance of supplementation and getting those key levels of vitamins and minerals and nutrients and all of that in the body. So I started taking supplements. Well, then I learned that not all supplements are created equal. And unfortunately, there's very low quality supplements that we can get that when they go into our body, it's almost like a computer code that our body doesn't know how to read. And so it just ends up evacuating the building. So we can give our body high quality supplementation to help support and get the foundation at a higher level if you think of that staircase. So for me, it became Lifelong Vitality that doTERRA offers, and that really helped to raise the energy of how my body felt. So that is as far as the supplementation. And then the other aspect is just paying attention to foods that were kind of creeping in on my body and looking at added sugars that, I wasn't one that really read labels, but then shifting into like reading the label and seeing how many grams of added sugar are in the foods that I was consuming. And then it became looking at what is in there. Well, what I identified was soy was wreaking havoc on my hormones. And once I cut out soy, whether it was soy milk or soy just added in, soybean oil. Once I started making those shifts, I noticed my hormones making a tremendous difference as well. So looking at those chemical cleaners, looking at adding in some high quality supplementation, looking at really just shifting out the foods that are not serving your body, it's not serving my body, and finding things that can replace that without it completely being a whole new lifestyle that feels exhausting. So when we're looking at the foundation as the upcoming weeks come, that is really, as we're talking about it, things to keep in mind, key elements. Get looking at those chemical fragrances that are creeping in and start making some shifts. Or maybe it's supplements that you want to start with. My suggestion would be Lifelong Vitality, but just getting into some sort of shift to raise the energy, raise the energetic state of the physical energy in our body so that we can start getting our body into more of a state of ease. So that's it for today. I will see you next week. We're going to kick off our topics and dive in some more. Have a good day, everyone.